I am your host, Kevin Sutherland. With us today, we have none other than Will Hayes, retired Navy veteran. What makes him special is that he is also my grandfather. Mr. Hayes is here to share with us his experience as a survivor of war. Currently, he works at Gateway Community Services as a drug and alcohol prevention counselor. Pops, it's good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so tell us about your naval career prior to the World Trade Towers going down on 9/11.
Good question. We just left Singapore. Was on board the aircraft carrier Carl Vinson, and we was on our way to Hobart, Tasmania, and Perth, Australia. Spend Christmas there. It's gonna be a real good cruise until the towers were down.
Why did you choose the Navy over any other branch of service?
I love the Navy. The reason why I chose Navy, because back in that day I wasn't physical enough to go into the Army or the Marine Corps, and between the Navy and the Air Force, both were technical, and I chose the Navy over the Air Force because the Navy travels a whole lot more countries, and I really want to see the world.
During the war, what were you doing? What were your duties aboard the aircraft carrier?
My duties was the Air Wing. I was on the Air Wing Commander staff as the lead flight deck coordinator for 10 squadrons, controlling 72 aircraft. Best way to put it, if you looked at Discovery Channel, when you see the flight deck in an island, I worked inside the island, and I spoke to the people on the flight deck with headsets and called to action on the flight deck.
What was your biggest challenge during the war?
The biggest challenge was right before the war. When the towers went down, they cut off all communication on the ship, so we couldn't transmit out. We could still receive emails and getting all those panic emails from the family and friends, and can't respond to them, and everybody doesn't know what's really going on. And to walk through the passageway of the ship and see young people crying and scared because you don't know when you're going home, you don't know what's happening. It was just so open-ended. And being that I was in charge of over 1,000 people, I had to hold myself together and stand strong in the face of fear.
If you were to give a young person advice on joining the military, what advice would you give?
I would say do it. You know, working with Gateway, walking into schools, I see a lot of kids not doing the Pledge of Allegiance or messing around during the moment of silence. And there's a lot of people dying so that we can have the life that we live right now. And for a young person to step up and take that torch and say, I want to be part of the solution and keep America going and keep America strong, you know, I applaud that effort.
Awesome story. Thank you for sharing your time and your story. Up next, the test results are in. We're about to find out the truth about Sterling Johnson. Is he the father? Stay tuned.